Hey guys, Greg here, Underground Graphics. Today we're back on the Bronco Sport and we're going to show you the lens tint kit. So I've got a couple pieces already out of this. We're doing some final test fitting, but essentially this is going to be our taillight piece, and we'll walk that around the vehicle here in just a minute. Rear third brake light, front bumper reflectors, rear bumper reflectors, and the back rear side reflectors, rear bumper reflectors. These are going to be these areas right here. Orange in the front, we've got red in the back. Those are both those side bumper reflectors. We've got one on the very rear, which I just test fit that one, so we'll do an install on this passenger side as we go through our install. And then on this taillight, we've seen this. This is what's most common. Most of the ones we see online are just the white overlays. We're going to go ahead and fill that whole area, as well as a small strip here over that reflector, and then give you an option if you want to do the whole red surround. It's not going to go to edge, just the face of that. It's not going to cover this, so you're still going to have some red showing. We did have this on. I took it off so we could do the demo for you. I like it, I really do, but again, I've got an all white and black Sport. Additionally, we've got that third brake light. It's going to have a little cutout for this washer here, and then just again, leave a little bit of red. There's a lot of contour on that may be difficult for some of you first timers to do. So we just made this simple. Everything's going to go dry except for these taillights. With that, there is a lot of curve on that, so we are going to use that soap water mix for the taillights. Everything else we're going to do dry, and yeah, that's really it. Again, this is that 651 8300 transparent film from Oracal. We love it. We've been using this for over 20 years. So there are other films. I think Lux makes, we use that at times if it's a very complex lens, but again, in this case, these are just small pieces. I believe this Oracal film is superior to that. Again, it's going to be a little, I'd say, darker. There's different grades of this too. This is going to be the dark smoke on that taillight. We are going to show you the light smoke, what that looks like over it if you just want a little bit of a tint. This kit can be ordered as pieces or as a full kit, and again, that'll be on the site. So let's get started on our tools. We've got our soap water mix, and I believe this is our Dawn, 6 to 8 drops of Dawn in a 16-ounce bottle mixed with water. Just so you know, this is that light smoke. This is the dark smoke. And then this is our alcohol mix. This is what we're going to use to prep the surface and clean. And again, that is going to be 10% alcohol and 90% water. That alcohol is 70% isopropyl. How do you say that? Isopropyl alcohol? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, as far as tools, I don't think we're going to need the blade. If you may have a little bit of excess if you're off on these. We try to get as close as we could to those exact reflectors. Typically, what I prefer to do is just heat those edges to get that to tuck over. But if you want to trim that, you can. Again, I didn't have any need to, but we'll see when we get there. And then that squeegee. You're going to get the plastic squeegee in this kit. This is the one that will be supplied with you. This is a hard squeegee, so going right on that vinyl, you can go light with it. Again, with this gloss film, it will self-heal with a little bit of heat. I like to use that soft squeegee. This is my personal squeegee. These are pretty pricey, so again, what we're going to offer you is the monkey strip if you want that. This is great if you just want to split the back of that adhesive, open up, tap it, fold it over, and you're going to end up with the felt edge on both sides. Again, if you don't want to splurge for that, that is going to be in the site separate. You really can just wrap a shirt around it, a microfiber around it. You can even use, again, just the edge of this. Just be careful with it. And yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and get going. Let me wipe down that area and we'll get started. All right, so we're going to go get started on that front bumper. Again, that front reflector. I know where these are because I cut this, but we will have these labeled for, front, rear, and you'll know this one's going to be for that back. These were very similar in size. They could even be the same size, but our scanner did pick up something a little bit different. But regardless, we will have that labeled. So again, we're going to do these dry. Let's set that down. I'm going to wipe that down real quick. Just a little squirt of alcohol water on that, just to make sure there's no dirt on there. And we really do want to just line this up in the corners. Top corner right, oops. Top corner right, top corner left. And again, you can really even just use your thumb for that. And you'll see it going over that impression of the OEM letters on there. That's why I want to get that heat gun on there. and just get that a little bit warm. And that'll absorb that right into that. And if you get just a little bubble like right there, that's what was left in there. You can probably push that out. But if you want to pop that as well, just tap the corner of that, and there you go. And again, there's no overhang on that. That one worked out perfect. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead and work our way to the rear. All right, so same thing, but in reverse. You do want to try to get around that edge. Again, I can already feel this is kind of not, I mean, it's secure in there, but I'm guessing it's pop clips or something in there. So again, I'm going to go from corner, just tack it, rear tack. In this case, it really is almost easier to use your thumb because this is a little bit recessed on that bumper line. I'll go back with that heat gun. So right there I could see a little bit of wrinkle, and that's just because it does overlap just a hair. So again, we'll just make sure that's all down, and it is. I'm going to heat that edge where the overlap was. And that's probably like a 1/16 of an inch or something, but as long as you get that squeegee in there and it'll wrap that edge, you can even use your fingernail if you want. That's it. So yeah, these are really easy. It's a great way to kind of hide that reflector that will still let light shine through it. So again, we just clean that surface to make sure we've got good adhesion. We just got this Bronco, so it has only been hand cleaned once with quick detail. And who knows if they put Armor All on these bumpers, but typically if you go to a car wash, if you do it yourself, a lot of people like to put that Armor All or something slippery on these plastic bumpers. So that's what we want to make sure there's nothing on these lenses. This overlapping strokes as if it was a squeegee, and I'm just using my thumb on this. And I can see I'm just a hair off on that. So if you are off, and this most probably wouldn't even notice, I'm going to go ahead and pull this back up. And with that heat gun, I'm going to soften that edge again. We're going to go right back and do that again. And I'm going to, actually this is an even cut. I'm going to flip this right over, come down just a little bit lower. And this one should hit right on that bottom edge. Again, I can use that heat to get out that corner. So again, you can see how resilient this material is. I pulled that up, warmed it, laid it again. And as long as you get those edges warm, that'll attach right. I mean, that's perfect. All right, let's take a look at this taillight. Rory did these first ones, so I haven't done this yet. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a chair here. So you don't have to do all these pieces if you don't want to. Again, typically it's just this cover here and this cover here. We did want to connect those. I like that finished look on that. We do have a small piece here in the middle, so if you want to, again, optional, but if you want to lay that, just like the other reflectors, that literally is just a and then we want to go ahead and wet this. This is going to be that center section, and this is that soap water mix. I think this may have been better dry, but let's see what this does. We'll wet the top side and the bottom side. And it may take a little bit to get that moisture to come out and this to start to stick. And again, some of the trick on that is to get that moisture out as you're moving it out. Get that water out from those edges. Alright, let's use a little bit of heat. See if we can dry up some of that moisture. Looks like it's starting to stick there, so let's see. I'm going with the wet method. This is why we don't do a lot of that, because it just takes patience for that moisture, for that soap mix to start to dry, to get all those little wrinkles out. I call them fingers when you get those little, like right there. And again, I may do the other one dry just to see what the difference is. But this is going to be the safe method that you really don't damage that piece. And it gives you a little more room to really fit that. That's pretty good. Now for that bigger piece, we're going to do that again. We're just going to peel off that backing and try not to let this touch itself or overlap. I like to spray the back of that. Again, I think we're going to try that other side dry, but I just wanted to show you this wet application first. Looks like this is that stress corner where it's kind of got a little bit of a bind in there. And again, that's why I'm about to find out if this water is a good thing or a bad thing, but either way we'll get this down and we're not going to damage this. It's just patience, like I said, just making sure we're got it where you want it. Now I'm trying to be even right in the middle of that. Okay, so I think I got it where I want it. So I'm going to start using a little bit of heat. You can see that almost shrinking up right in place. Still feel a lot of that moisture in there. Let me get back around just this side right here. Pull this back up. So you can see there's a little bit of shrinking when we get that heat on there. You do have to be careful, it will grab a little bit of a wrinkle on that. And again, I just pulled that back up to get that out. And give it a little bit of heat. This is a great example of why I like dry installs. This just takes time, it's just tedious, but it all works out. You get it in place of how you want it. A lot of people prefer the wet method, and again, this is just an odd shape. So with this much, there's not a lot to adhere to. So it just takes a little bit of time. But once that solution starts to evaporate, it'll be just fine. You can see there's still some moisture in that larger one. I mean, the inside of that. So let's go ahead and move on over to the driver's side, and we'll do that one dry, and we'll do that one in the light smoked. And that way we can see the difference. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do that driver's side. We're going to do this one as a dry method. I've not done this yet, so we're going to be doing this one together. This one as well will be that light smoked film. We did the passenger side with that dark smoke, so this will give you an idea what that light smoke looks like over red. Over the white parts, it's just going to give it like a really light, it's almost non-visible, but it is enough to know that there's something there. I like it because it's subtle, but most people, when they're looking for that taillight tint or lens tint, they are looking for that dark look. So again, we're just going to wipe this down. And that wet method, again, to go over that, that's typical. Again, and that's why all of our vehicle graphics kits are done with wrap vinyl. If this was the Lux film, it probably would be, again, I can't say we haven't done it with that Lux film, but costs are a little bit more for that. And again, I like the durability of this. With that Lux, we've seen edges come up that had any little bit of stress on it, or this Oracal is fantastic. The life of this stuff is awesome. And again, to remove, same process, just a little bit of heat. You could probably do this on a hot side and just peel it right off. So let's go ahead and start with that inside piece. This was the easy one. And that one really is just a peel and stick right over that reflector. And you can really not even tell there's anything there. And you really just need your finger to put that one on. Now this larger one, this is going to be tricky. You're going to have to try to line this up. I just get a tack, roll that up that edge. The trick to this is trying to just get this as much flat surface as you can, and you have to have that soft edge of that squeegee. Again, you can use a microfiber or a towel, and you just want to make sure to get firm strokes over that. I'm going to work this corner right out. And here we can start to see that starting to wrinkle up. We're just going to keep rolling over those strokes. And I'm going to got a little bit of I need to release this just a little bit. I'm just going to tack that up so I can get this side down. And right there we got a little bit of some stress. That's where we're going to use a little bit of that heat. Right back with that soft edge of that squeegee, and if you get a wrinkle like I did there, pull it up and do it again. Another little one right there. And pull that back up. You want to make sure your hands are clean because again you are touching the back side of this adhesive and it is transparent. So, and this, you can use that hard edge. Again, this will self-heal if you need to give it a little bit of heat. So I'm just working that corner right up. Alright, now I got the bottom on there. I got to get this right over that. So I'm going to just give it a little tug. Let's see if I can go ahead and get this piece tacked. Let me give that just a little heat just to get over that. Let's see if we can get that right there. Now I'm thinking that wet method may be the best method for these big pieces. There's a lot of curve on this, so again, this is a little difficult for a dry install on this piece right here. So I don't know if you can see the difference in color from what that was with the white. What we'll probably do is show you this with the smoke, and they'll go peel that smoke side off. And again, now we've got a piece that we've got to get right up the middle of this and get around edges. I'm going to go ahead and do warm that up and get that where I'm not touching that vinyl on that lens, and just work that right up there. And again, this is tricky. This is all in a recession too, so. Well, I am 100% going to recommend you do that wet method on this. It's going to be a little tedious. And I think what we'll do too is go ahead and do what the common thing is, and if you don't want to do that large piece, We will break this down into these smaller sections. May just even include that in there. So you'll have that option. I do like that full piece over because I like that finished look. But this is going to be a little harder to install, so you can make that decision for yourself when you get that kit. And this does show that importance again of that soft squeegee. You can get a little curve on these squeegees, but not a lot. The white ones, those economy ones with that monkey strip on there, those will have a lot more flex. It'd actually be a much better squeegee for this application. There's a little bit in there I want to get out. I don't think we ever got this edge totally down. So now that we've got this back edge down, we can pull this one up and work out any imperfections we had in there. So I don't know which one was longer, the wet or the dry, but that's just an inside piece, and that's about done. There's a little bubble here, a little bubble there, and again, that's those little ones that you can really just tap the edge of that and just push that right out. Tap the edge of that, push that right out. Another little one there. And again, we can clean those edges up a little bit better, but I really just wanted you to get an idea of what that looks like, that light smoke. Let's see what that edge ring does if we do this dry. Let's go ahead and hit that bottom corner. And just tack that. I'm going to come right up that and try not to stretch this. I think that's the thing I liked about the wet method, is that you've got a little more control of that. You can just follow this around. And again, with this, you can kind of stretch to guide, kind of pull in that direction you want to go. So I'll have to heat that little corner right there. I want to make sure I'm right along that edge, so let's see if we can tack this down cleanly. You're going to have to get work it out so where you've got all the inside down, and then you can work that edge out. Now that I've got that, again, that edge, that inside ring down, you can use that soft squeegee. Have to pull that piece right up there. Let's hit that again. This is a little tricky too, so again, I think that wet method is going to be the way to go with these taillights. If you just want to do these inside pieces, those will be easy to do dry. It's just going to be just like those reflectors where you're just going to do a little peel and stick. And it will expose, we'll have that just going around, just around that clear part of those inside lenses. And again, it's just common. It's the easy way to go. It doesn't look bad. I just wanted to try to get a full lens to give it more of an OEM look. And again, this is an add-on that we wanted to try out, and it was just to give a little accent. And once we're done with this, we'll back up and take a look at both sides. Let us know what you think. We need to come back, that one little guy right there. And we'll have a couple little tiny bubble fluid. I have to go back and grab these little guys. And again, it's just to barely touch that. If you want to pull that back up, you can. That's a lot of work for that little tiny guy, and the heat will take a lot of this out as well. Did notice there's a OEM mold mark right here, one at the bottom as well. So let's take a step back, take a look at this, see what this looks like, and compare that dark smoke to that light smoke. Get my tools out of the way here. You know what, let's do one more. Oh yes, take a look at this first, then we'll come back to that third brake light. I forgot about that third brake light. All right, so we got passenger side dark on, we got driver's side light smoke on. We did that one dry, we did the passenger side wet. Both of them were moderate, so they do take some time. That dry one is going to be very difficult to do, you know, with the heating and stretching, shrinking, getting that on there. So I would definitely do that wet. We also talked about doing just the inserts over those clear portions. I'm going to show you that after we do the third brake light, but I wanted you to see where we're at. Personally, I do like that medium smoke or that light smoke just on those taillights. Last piece we have of that kit is that third brake light. Again, it's going to leave a little bit of that red, so if you wanted to, it's just going to do just this flat part. And if you don't have the ring on here, it'll match that. It'll also, you can kind of stand back once we look at all this as one big piece to see it. It all ties in, and it's a great little accent. Again, just a peel and stick. Bust that out. We're going to start right over, let's just start over the, make sure everything's clean around it, because I just peeled the whole thing off. But I want to just tack it and get it right in place. I'm going to start from the middle and go right out. Again, soft side to that squeegee. And if you get a little kink just like that, we can just lift that edge up. I want to pull this up. There we go. Just so I can get that down smooth with that squeegee. Don't worry about that little piece. That'll come out with a little bit of heat or just the edge of that squeegee. Goes right down around that washer nozzle. And that's really about it. And again, that soft edge of that squeegee with this film, again, you're just putting squeegee right over the edge of the film. Same thing we do when we're working on vinyl wraps. And again, that's another nice little accent. It just kind of ties everything in. So looking at that third brake light and then looking at the tail lights, you can see what I'm talking about with that red ring on there. I like that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull off. We're going to pull off the passenger side smoke, so you can see the difference between the light smoke and then nothing on it. And then we're going to go ahead and throw on just the clear part insert overlays. And again, those will be included with those taillight kits, so you'll have the options to do what you want to do with those taillights. All right, so we've got the passenger taillight removed. Now you're going to see the difference between the no tint on the passenger side versus the light tint on the driver's side. And again, you've already seen the dark mixed with the light. Again, it's subtle, makes a great difference. Again, I really do like that light smoke on that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the other piece. We're going to put the two-piece inserts on that passenger tail, and we'll be done. All right, so we're back here for that final install. We're going to do just the two-piece inserts. We've pulled the vinyl off of this taillight, so we still have the light smoke on the driver's side, the passenger side. We're going to do both the dark smoke and the light smoke to show you the difference on that as well. This is going to be the easiest install. Again, this is probably what you're used to seeing online or from the other shops doing these. Again, this is going to come with our full kit for the taillight. So if you order just the taillights, you'll get the single piece, the insert, the outer ring, and these two inserts. So pick which one you want to use. I believe our full kit, which is all lenses, is going to be $65. And so yeah, it really is a great deal on these. So this is going to be the light smoke at this driver's side. Pull this one off. And again, these are just overcut just a little bit. And you're really just going to kind of eyeball this on here. You got about 1/8 of an inch overcut. So you can kind of go a little bit off in either direction. And again, you want to use that soft end of that squeegee to work that in. But you can see how much easier this is. You're not having to mess with working around this piece here. And that's why they do it. It's just, it's just the effect you want. We're just giving you options. This one really will be the easiest to get some effect on there. And if you stand back even from that, you can see the difference between the smoke, the light smoke, and the white on there. Or this is, no film over it. This is the light smoke. Let's go ahead and put that dark smoke on the bottom. And again, we're just going to line that up just on the outside edge of where that white starts. And that is the dark on there. So yeah, I gotta say, I like the light smoke on that a little more than the dark. So it's just going to depend on your theme. Obviously, this is a white vehicle, so that lighter is going to match a little bit better. If this was a darker color, the carbonized gray or the black, I would probably go with that darker smoke. Anyway, again, those will be included in that kit. If you guys have any questions on any of this, feel free to reach out, give us a comment, give me a call. Be sure to like and subscribe. That will conclude our lens tint application on the Bronco Sport. And yeah, we're still at it, so we got more content coming to you for the Bronco Sport. See you soon.